This is you in private. This is you when you see the wallet with $1,000 and more in it, and you know that the owner is not around. If you take it, they will not know who took it. This is you who will say, it's not mine. Let me leave it. This is who you are. This is the core you. Reputation is what I want people to say about me. So I do things so that people will speak nice of me. But it's not who I really am. So sometimes we marry reputations. We get into relationships with reputations and not character. Many times we get in, here's why we like some people. There are some people who are gorgeously handsome, beautiful. And we get into relationship with them because they are nice people. Guess why we leave them? Character. Most times they're just as good looking still, if not better. But we can't stand the character. So that's why we teach in this series, because we believe that one of the hallmarks of Christians happens to be we live by character. Do you know why the 2, 1, 3, 5, 4, all those letters, you know what they call those letters? Those numbers? They call them characters. They're characters. Digits. Right. Right. The reason why they call them characters is because they never change. 2 and 2 will be 4. Because you bring 2 characters together, they will not change. Just because you don't like it. They will remain characters. Characters hold. They are definite, and here's the word that we use this morning. They are consistent. That's what we need in our lives, consistency. If you watch a statue and you pass, you know, a statue of, let's say we make a statue of Nelson Mandela or of a prime minister, they call that a character. Why? Because it stays. It's consistent. Wind will come, all sort of things come and so on, and those statues last for a long time. That's what character is. So character is consistent. So one of the things that we spoke about is integrity is what you see is what you get. Who I am is who I am. But we live in a world of pretense. The person's picture on your Facebook many times is not them. I recently had to update my Facebook picture. Why? Because people see it and they thought that was my age. But over the years, I've kind of grown older. I'll tell you a true story. Because I took out these pictures so many years ago, and I never really thought of changing them. I was speaking in one of the islands, and it was promoted in the newspapers, etc. There's a girl who came, sat down at the front. And, after I went around meeting people, and I asked her to come back if she enjoyed it. She said, yeah. And then I asked her if she'll come back again. And she said, I doubt. I said, why not? She said, well, I came because of your picture. True story. She said, the person on the picture and looking at you there is 2 different people. So she doesn't think she will come back. Yeah? So what you end up there with is that she was not seeing consistency. So I tell myself, let me update my picture so that people will see this is how I am now. Let me tell you something about character and integrity. Integrity is what people live by. That is what makes people trust us. That is what make people put confidence in us. That is what make people think that I can share a secret with you. I can share my life with you. I can tell you things. Because here's what integrity does. You are my friend, and we are partners, and you share with me a secret. Private secret. It might be something good, it might be something bad. And then we fall out. Integrity says, even though we fell out and I hold a secret, it still is a secret. You will not read it on Facebook. And people, as soon as they fall out with people, it's on Facebook. And I'm asking, but this is a friend that you are talking about. This is in a relationship you were with and so on. And so this is why people don't trust people. A lot of us don't trust people generally. Because people don't have integrity. But once you are a Christian, one of the things that you must have, integrity. And that comes from your character, from who you are. So I can share something with you, and knowing that fall out or don't fall out, it is safe. It doesn't change. Because integrity, character is consistent. I share with you a secret, something that I confessed. And then now, we have a fallout. Don't throw it back in my face. Hello? Don't throw it back in my face. And remind me of issues that I've done. There's a reason I trusted you to share it with you. And I would expect as a Christian that you will not use that as an ammunition or a weapon against me. So you still hold it. You know that still I had that issue, but you're going to keep it quiet. So the one we want to deal with in the next 10 minutes is lies. Lies, 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 lies. What is a lie? It's an untruth, you see? Varies from the truth. All right. So what is truth? Truth is the original information. That is truth. Thy word is truth. That's the original source. So even if it has passed down through a number of people and it changes, the truth is what is original. So if truth is the original, what is untruth? Variation from the original. But it may not necessarily be a lie. Okay, walk with me. There are some words carry the same meaning, but carry a different connotation, which means its implications might have some differences in it. I can tell you an untruth in my respectful view. This is my personal view. But I may not necessarily have lied to you. Okay? Follow me. It is said, if an accident takes place, and you have a group of people who watch that accident, and you go to investigate that as a police, one would say, it was a blue Mazda. And another one would say, it was a black Datsun. Nobody intentionally lied. What happens is that things that you are familiar with, remember we spoke about recency bias and availability bias and all of that? So link back for those who were when we spoke about biases. If there's a certain information available to me, it will be recalled faster and would come out in my bias. Let's say, for example, I'm familiar with a Mazda car. I would interpret that it looked like a Mazda. But it may not be a Mazda, but I never intended to mislead you. It may have been dark blue. But between dark blue and black, I conclude it's black. So I spoke an untruth. But I never intended to lie. You understand? So, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. So go with me. So there are times that people say something that we accuse them of lying, when it may have been, from their perspective, it was an untruth. You come into a scene, somebody's lying on the ground, bleeding. Somebody's over the person with a knife. The person who's bleeding is bleeding from a stab wound. They have a knife in their hand. When they see me, they drop the knife and they take off running. What just happened? We'll conclude that the murderer was the person who took off running. What if the person came, saw them on the ground, picked up the knife, and then you walked in? And then they said, oh my goodness, they'll think I killed the person. Took off running. Did they murder the person? No. But you went to court and said, this is the person you saw murdered the person. Because you will fill in the rest of it. Even though you did not see the murder, you'll conclude that you saw it. You would have spoken an untruth. Yeah? Lies, however, knowing the truth and going opposite to the truth. So most times, the liars are downright liars because they know the truth and they see otherwise. Now, the thing is that becomes dangerous is when Christians tell lies, knowing the truth, and they go about spreading truth as lies. Now, if somebody meet you and tell you an untruth is a lie, please don't challenge them and so on. As we said, this is the fine line that takes place there. But a lie certainly is clear-cut. Christians should never lie. So this is why the Bible talks about lying. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19, the Bible says, these 6 things God hates. And when you hear God name out 6 things that he hates, and then he says, yes, 7, an abomination unto him. 7 is the perfect number, which means God well hates it. 7 abomination unto him. A proud look is one. Listen to the next one. A lying tongue. There are people who lie for no reason. That's a dangerous liar. Because they have become so accustomed to lying that from the time you see them, they lie. Because they just have the ammunition of all the lies that they have. So, you know, a gentleman, I think the story is that he came and he had grass on his shoes or something, so, and he came back into the house. And he told his wife, who asked him where he was. And he said that he went to meet his friend, and while he was his friend, he started to drink, and then because he was drunk, that he lost his way. He didn't want to drive, and so he walked through some shortcut, got grass on his foot, and he walked into the house, and he messed it up. His wife said, you think I'm stupid? Yes, huh? So she is doubting that story because of the grass. She's going to come up with something else that says why he got the grass on his foot. And she thinks that one is the truth. So he has recognized and has learned, if you want your wife to come up with a different story, tell her the truth and she will find the light. Yes, sir? So she came up with a long story. I can't remember what that story was. But the Bible says, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imagination, feet that swift to running to mischief. A false witness, he comes back again with lying. Twice. Why did he mention that twice? A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Your word is your bond. If you say something, you let your yea be yea and your nay nay. If you say something, it must be the truth at all times. When you speak, speak the truth. But not all truth you need to speak. So some truth you tell yourself, I would hold this back, but if you're going to speak, make sure it is the truth. So that when children say, mommy say, or daddy say, they know it's the truth. So don't encourage your children to lie by when somebody calls you on the telephone, tell them I'm sleeping. And they say so. What you are doing, you are training your children to lie. Let them always know that the truth is something that must always come out of the mouth of a Christian. Because truth always prevails. The truth will set you free. Allow the children to be able to say the truth even though the truth hurts them. The Bible says the person who swears to their own hurt and will not repent, which means I'm saying the truth even though I know I will get in trouble for saying the truth. So lies, the Bible says, God does not lie. Here's what he also says. Proverbs 14 and verse 5. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. Proverbs 14:5. I was caught in many years ago, more than 35 years ago. I was caught in. I asked my girlfriend, if I get in trouble, would you lie to get me off of trouble? My girlfriend said, no, I'm not going to lie. I didn't like the answer, but I thought about it. I said, then this person's word can be trusted. So I married the person 3 years later. And I've been able to trust her word in 34 years. Yeah? Because her word is her bond. When you have somebody who knows that when they tell you something, it is the truth, you could sleep well. But if somebody tells you something and you always have to wonder, I wonder if they're really telling the truth. I have to put password on my phone. You understand me? Because they will go digging up because they're not sure if you told them the truth. They'll go into your email, they'll go search in your pockets, they'll glad to wash your clothes. Yeah? Because they're on a search. But when you live in a relationship that the person tells you the truth, then you have peace on earth. So truth is the most often used to mean being in accord with the fact and reality or fidelity to an original or standard, the original information. Lies is an assertion that is believed to be false, typically used with the purpose of deceiving someone. And that's why we lie. Untruth, a false statement, the quality of being false, which means it is not the truth. It was false. Let me tell you of, there's something in law called mutual mistake. I'm selling a piece of land, and I tell Sister Suzanne, you know the land located out at Bacolet, it's just by the corner, there's a tree, there's a glory cedar tree right by it. I told her that. She said, oh yes, I know that piece. She pays me down for the land, buys the land, starts to build, and recognizes that she built on the wrong piece of land. Yeah? What she knows and what I explain we both made a mutual mistake. It was not the truth. But I never tried to deceive her. And where she built was never done in order to build on somebody else's land. The law calls that a mutual mistake. Yeah? Some of the arguments that we have in relationships, that we say and accuse people of lying, might be untrue. As far as the information at the time was, that's how they understood it. That's how they knew it was. You could see somebody and you say, listen, I saw your son down the road this evening, you know. And a mother could lose things, but you see, I tell him wasn't to go there, you know, and so on. And then you find out that he was a different person. The person resembled. I walked up in town one day, saw a friend, hugged the friend, and so on, and the friend pushed me off. And was very hostile. And I tell myself, you know, this person real moody. It was a girl. And so on, and she pushed me off and watched me. And so on, and me needed to say, well, let me go. So next time I saw her, I passed her straight. Because I is not like that. I passed her straight. Person comes up to me, hugs me, Mike, how you doing? And so on. I said, let me tell you, you see this moodiness? I can't handle that. One time, your friend and daughter friend said, no, what is your problem? And so on. I said, when I saw you at the bank, and I hug you, the way how you treated me in front of all of them people there, I don't operate like that. She said, Mike, you know, I have a twin sister. I never knew she had a twin. So the twin doesn't know me and felt that I was being very frontish to come and hug her. No, that is a mutual mistake. So let me tell you, sir, I go and run my mouth because I tell people already how she does behave. Eh? Did I lie on her? It was an untruth. It was the facts that I had at the moment that she really pushed me off and was behaving things as though she, and of course, you know, you must embellish it. She feels she high. Hoity-toity. Soon as she gets she subjects now, she feels she big. Had nothing to do with the poor girl. A twin. So that's why we have to be careful when we're talking that we have original information. Because sometimes we let our mouth off too early. And we accuse people too early. Let's say that I never met her again. You know how she would have gone down in my mind for a long time? Because of lack of information. So that's why Christians would make sure that they have information that would be able to verify it. Okay, I promise that I would be short. Deceit, however, is different. Deceit and lies are brothers and sisters. They're really related. They're in the same house. Deceit sometimes is a half-truth, like a half-brother. You say enough truth for the person to get enough information to come to the wrong conclusion. And some Christians play cute with deceit, thinking, I didn't lie, but you are a deceiving person. And even you are a deceiving person, people don't trust you because they don't know how much of the information you gave them is really original information. Yeah? Where you now come from? Down the road is a good one. Who and you was down the road? Friends. Right. And when you're trying to keep away the gender of the friend. Yeah, because that's what you're trying to hide. Me and one or two people from the office, and then you say, well, who was it in the office? And you're going down. And then you reach to a point now that you call out one or two names that would be innocent names, but they didn't say the person. That the person who you're married to or the other person really wants to hear that name called out. So you leave that name out. So the person says, well, all right, then that means that person did not go with you, but the person went. Have you been deceitful? Because you knew what they were looking for. And you hid the information specifically so that they would think that you did not go with that person. Children, to parents, are clever, deceitful people. They say things that give you impression that you will have one idea when there's a completely different. You ask the child to do homework. The child goes on the computer, playing games and on Facebook. Every time you pass, they minimize the thing. You seeing maths and Spanish and so on, and you say, my child, real studying, he's hours now. That is deceit. You're living a life of deceit. You can also give the impression to people that you are a Christian. But your life has a lot of skeleton in the closet. That's deceit. Because you're giving people the impression you're an upright person. It's better you come out and live the gutter life and say, this is me. Because if you live gutter life and you say, this is you, that is integrity. Did you know that? Because exactly what I see is who you are. That's integrity. Lack of integrity is when there is a difference in the way how we operate. And what we call it for now in Christianity is people to go back to integrity, go back to who they are, and what people consider this is what a Christian looks like. Lies, deceit, untruths, and I think those were the three. So I want us to be able to ask ourselves these questions of character. Lord, help me build my character. Help me to get back to the way I used to be. Help me to get back to that when I say my word is sound.